This is Carolyn with the Houston Luxury Living Team. I'm coming to you to talk about common first-time homebuyer mistakes. Please, if you are a first-time homebuyer or second-time homebuyer, or you haven't even gotten ready to purchase your first home, I want you to tune in to this so that you can make sure you do not succumb to these mistakes and that you're readily prepared. Mistake number one, I often see that whenever I'm doing a consult and talking to my first-time home buyers, they do not have a monthly budget in mind. That's mistake number one, not having a monthly budget. Most of the time they know what sales price they want to stay within, but as far as what they want to pay monthly, including taxes and insurance, they have no idea what that looks like for them. Another common mistake is not checking your current credit score, not knowing what your credit report looks like. Believe it or not, most of my first-time home buyers really don't know, or they're using Credit Karma, which I do not recommend using because it is not accurate. You can definitely use Experian, get those 3 scores, see what the bureaus are reporting, so you can go ahead and dispute anything that you see may not belong to you, or be able to make those connections as you're preparing to get ready to purchase a home. Another mistake that first-time home buyers make, not my first-time home buyers because I push for them to do this, is waiving an inspection. Never, ever, ever, ever waive an inspection. Whether you're buying new construction or resale, you want to get an inspection on a home because you want to make sure that if there are any issues with the home, that they are addressed and resolved prior to you closing on the home. Another common mistake would be underestimating closing costs. Now, when I hold my consults, it's not that my first-time home buyers underestimate. Some are not even aware that closing costs and down payment are 2 separate sets of numbers when it comes to closing on a home. The down payment and the closing costs combined makes up your cash to close amount. What I do with my buyers is, in order to readily prepare them, is once they get their pre-approval done and we're out shopping for a home, once we identify several homes that my buyer wants to put an offer in on, we send those over to the lender and let them do a mock-up, a run-up of a disclosure, if you will, that will show what their monthly payment will be, what their down payment will be, as well as what their closing costs will be. That way they are fully prepared before an offer is even submitted. Now, I've had buyers make this mistake before, but I don't want you to be one of them. And that is applying for new lines of credit before even closing on a home. Please do not apply for new lines of credit while you're in the home purchasing process. So from the time that you get your pre-approval done to the time that you sign at the title company, you are not applying for new lines of credit. You are sitting on your hands, because if you do apply for those new lines of credit, it could bust your deal wide open and you may not even be able to afford your home because of your debt to income ratio. Lastly, but certainly not least, another mistake is buyers purchasing homes that they are not comfortably able to afford. So you're purchasing more home than you need to. All the time when I'm doing my consult, I'm asking, what is your budget? What's your comfortable number, your comfortable monthly number, and then what is your max? I would recommend that you stay at that comfortable number. The reason being is because as the years pass and taxes are done on the home, tax appraisals are done, the value of the home will increase, which could increase your taxes, which could increase your monthly number that you're paying. And most of the time when people are already at their max, once that new year comes around and the new taxes have been applied to the home, they can't afford it anymore. So most of the time, buyers may either end up short selling, foreclosing, or having to sell more abruptly than they originally intended. So make sure when you're purchasing a home, you do not max out your budget. Stay at a comfortable space. So in the case that it does increase over time, you're not pushing yourself out of your bounds, if you will. So as a first-time home buyer, do not make these common mistakes. Make sure that you connect with a realtor, myself, or whoever else you may know, that is well educated and can readily prepare you for purchasing your first home so that everything with your transaction runs smoothly and you become a new homeowner.